Sometimes you don't need a full-blown e-commerce platform for your website. You just want a simple order form to take a payment. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this payment form right here. It's fully customizable, of course, with custom fields, whatever you want to add to it. You can even make it a lot more visual. And after your visitor fills this out, it's going to take them here to put in their credit card information. You optionally can provide the option of paying with PayPal for the visitor, whatever you want to do. In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect it to Stripe for credit card payments. This is going to be very easy to set up on your website, so let's go ahead and get started. So here I am on a fresh installation of WordPress. Now what we're going to need is a form plugin that also allows you to take payments. And I've evaluated all the various form plugin options, and I found the best one that I think, especially for the money. So what we're going to do is go ahead and open up a new tab and enter WPCrafter.com/Fluent Form, and I'll have the link down below in the description. It's going to take us right here to WP Fluent Forms, and as you can see, it's extremely affordable and reasonably priced. There's an annual plan, but there's also a lifetime license option available for it. It has a ton of great features, but what we were looking for specifically is a form plugin that also supports accepting payments. And this form plugin integrates with Stripe as well as PayPal. So it's going to allow us to create order forms that we can take payments for. So grab a copy of Fluent Forms and then come back to the website. I'm going to go to Plugins, click on Add New. I'm going to click on Upload Plugin, and we're going to upload the file you just purchased from Fluent Forms. I've already added it there. I'll click on Install Now, and it's going to install Fluent Forms for me. I'll click on Activate Plugin. Next, we're going to get this warning immediately that this is an add-on and we need to install the base Fluent Forms. So it's pretty convenient. We just click right here and it's going to go ahead and download and install that for us. There it is. I'll just click on Activate, and now you're going to have two new plugins to your website: Fluent Forms and the Fluent Form Pro add-on pack, which is going to enable us to take payments on our website. You're going to see a brand new menu option right here that says Fluent Forms Pro. Let's go ahead and click on that now. Right here, you're going to see a list of all the forms that you have created. I created this in testing before making this video. You can remove any of these forms as well by clicking right here where it says Delete and click on Confirm. I really like the interface that Fluent Forms gives us. So first, let's go ahead and click on Settings right here. Then look right here where it says Payment Settings. And this is where we are going to connect Fluent Forms to PayPal or Stripe. Now for this video, I'm going to use Stripe. So we will first want to add our general settings here, which would be our business name and our address, and choose our default currency and some formatting options. I've gone ahead and filled that out. I'll click on Save Settings. Now we have two ways of accepting payments: PayPal or Stripe. I'm going to use Stripe in this video. So I'm going to click here where it says Stripe Settings. I'm going to click right here where it says Enable Stripe Payment Method. And then what I need to do is go to Stripe. If you don't have an account, create one, and I'm going to show you in a sec. And when the account's created, we need to get our API keys. I'll explain what that is in a moment. And you're going to be able to have two sets of API keys, one for testing and one for when you're live and you want to accept real payments. The reason it's very important to have these test API keys is that is how you're actually going to test the form by completing a full transaction, but you don't really need to use a real credit card because we're going to use this test gateway so that we can test everything before we go live. Now we're going to set up your payment integration so that you could take credit cards on your website. Open up a new tab and visit Stripe.com. Now, Stripe is an online service, and most online stores use it to accept payments because it's very simple to use and it's very affordable. There's no monthly fees. They just take 2.9% of the transaction, and that's pretty much it. And as you get volume to your online transactions. You could even negotiate that rate down some. So just visit Stripe.com and set up an account. You do not need to be a legal business, but you can set this up in your legal business name if you want, or in your personal name. So right here, you would click on Start Now, and you would just go through the step-by-step process. It'll just take a few minutes to get all set up. Now, I already have an account, and I've gone ahead and logged into my account right here. Now, after you set up your account, there's going to be just a few additional steps to get what's called your live API keys. What an API key is your connection from your website to this service. It's going to be 2 strings of keys or just random characters that will make that connection. What's nice is Stripe gives you a test set of API keys, and we're just going to copy and paste this back over on our website. And you'll need to complete the setup process to get your live API keys. So right here it says get your test API keys, and right here it says get your live API keys. And the reason it says that is because I haven't set up this account fully yet, but it's very simple for you to do. But right now what I'm going to do is copy and paste my test API keys. So when I click here, it's going to reveal them. And there's 2 of them, the publishable key and the secret key. Of course, I have mine blurred out. This is sensitive information. You don't want to share this with anyone. So copy and paste over your publishable key and your secret key for the test here. And if you've gone through the complete setup, you're going to want to do the same exact thing for the live API keys. And the reason you want both on your website is if there's ever a time where you want to test the payment process, you can switch into test mode and it will use those test API keys and it will go through as a normal transaction, but the credit card isn't charged. That's how you're going to perform tests to make sure the process is smooth on your website. Okay, I've copied my test API keys across, and you can see right here it says payment mode, test mode, or live mode. You're going to want to first be trying everything out in test mode, making sure everything works right, how you like it and how you expect it to work, and then enable live mode. So now that is all set and configured, we can go ahead and create our form. I'll click right here where it says all forms. I'll click right here where it says add a new form. Now, one of the nice features about this form plugin is it gives you all of these pre-made forms that you can use as a starting point. Of course, you can build your own, but we're going to go ahead and use one of these pre-made ones first. So here is several product forms, and we have right here a product order form, an online service order form. So obviously you can take any kind of payment for anything in this form plugin on your website. So for me, I'm going to do an online service order form. I'll hover here, I'll click on create form, and it's going to go ahead and create that for me. Of course, you can start from scratch if that's your preference. So we have this panel here. On the left, right here, is what your form is going to most likely look like when it's live on your website. What we have over here on the right is the various fields that we might want to add to the form. And this would be multiple select boxes. This would be fields where we can ask for names and addresses or anything that we want. There's going to be a field for it here. So we have a list of general fields. This is where you'll find a name field, an email address, a normal address, a phone number, a time and date, those types of general fields, including a file upload. Next, when I click right here, it says advanced fields. This is going to show us some more advanced field options. Next, we have container field options. And lastly, we have payment field options, and these are what we're going to use inside of this form. Now back to the left side of our form. Each of the fields, as you hover over it, you'll see it highlighted and there'll be options. This option here is to move it. So if I wanted the customer phone number field moved up, I'll click, hold, drag, and then let go. And now you can see the phone number field has been moved. I can click the pencil icon here, and that will bring up its settings over on the right panel, and I can change them. If I want to change the field label, I can do it here, and various other settings that pertain just to this particular field. If I want to duplicate it, I can click right here. And if I wanted to delete a field, I could click this right here. So for example, I do not want this order number field. I can click on the trash can, and then I'll click on confirm, and that is no longer there. So I probably am going to want that phone number field back down underneath the first name and the last name. So now let's start customizing this to have the exact information that we want. So right here, I do want their name, I do want their phone number, I do want their email address. And then right here is a service date. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the trash can. As well as the service date when complete, I'm going to close that out as well. And I don't want this description of service. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how we're actually going to add the products in a list. I'll click on confirm. Note, I don't need that. Actually, I don't need a lot of these, so let's go ahead and clear some of these out. Sometimes it's better to just start from scratch. Okay, so let me get rid of that, and for payment method, this is optional. I'm just going to have it be just a credit card and not give the option. So let me get rid of that. Now let's start playing around with our payment fields. So the first field here that we're going to definitely want to use is the payment field right here. So I'm going to drag and drop it here to the bottom. And then we're going to want the payment method field, and I'm going to drag and drop that to the very bottom right here. And let's start customizing these two. So this is where we're going to configure the name of what's being ordered and the cost. But there's a lot of great options here. So let's go ahead and click on the edit icon. And the first item here is the label. You can change this to whatever you want. So I just changed it to choose your product because I'm going to have a checkbox selection. So when I choose this option, it turns into a checkbox. So I can list out multiple items with different costs, and the visitor of the pay form can check on the checkbox of what they want. And I'm also giving them the option to choose multiple of these various items, and it will all total up. So this is very flexible. So I'm going to have 3 different items, and off to the right here, I can click on this tiny plus, and it's going to add an additional item, and I'll click on it again, and it's going to add an additional item. So I'm going to change the labels of these and the prices, but you can also change the order of them if you put them in an order and want to change it later. So I'm going to fill this out now. I've gone ahead and filled this out. I entered a 1-hour consultation, and you see how it's showing the price right here? You have to actually add that right here to the label that we're using. So I added that to each one of these. Now, it doesn't actually make sense for me to have a checkbox where someone can choose multiple options here, because most likely with this form, someone will just choose one. So it's very easy to switch. I can click right here where it says radio selection, and it automatically changed. And now when someone's on this online payment form, they'll only be able to choose one of these. Now there's one more thing that I wanted to show you is this checkbox here that says photo. So there may be situations where you're creating a payment form and you want it to be more visual, where the visitor can choose visually by looking at a photo. In that case, you can click this checkbox and you can upload a photo, and that would show along with that line item. I'm not going to do that in this case because it's just for consultations. Next, let's take a look at the options right here for payment method. I'll click on the pencil icon. Now, remember, we only connected Stripe, but if you connected PayPal as well, there'll be an option here for the visitor to choose the one that they want to use. And you could change the label here. That would probably be the only customization. Last is the button that says submit form. Let's go ahead and change that because it doesn't quite make sense for an order form. So right here is where we can change the text of the button. I just changed it to place order. So now I'm going to click on save form, and now it's saved. And right here is what's called a short code. You're going to click it and it's automatically going to be copied to your clipboard. And then now we'll be able to place this anywhere we want to place it inside of our website. Now let's go back to where it says settings and integrations. Let's click on that and we'll just want to go over some of the settings that are specific to this new online payment form. Now the first one is right here is what happens after someone fills out this form and makes a payment. And right here, it's set to change the form to say, thank you for your message. We'll get back in touch shortly. However, that is not super applicable in this case. So you might want to go here and say, thank you for your order. What I think might be even better is to create a custom page on your website to say thank you. And in that case, you would choose right here to a page, and then you would select that page. You can also direct them someplace else. So in the case of selling a time slot, you can redirect the buyer to a booking page. So if you're using Calendly or something along that line to schedule appointments, that would be ideal right there. I'll leave this to same page and I'll just leave this message for this video. Next, click on payment settings. And right here, we need to specify the customer email. And this obviously could have been any field that we added to the form. So we just need to link that up. So I'll click right here and I'll click on customer email and then click on saved settings. Next, we have email notifications, so you can turn on a notification to you when someone fills out this form. Order confirmations. We also have a landing page feature, so if you didn't want to create a new page to place this form in, you could go here and click on this checkbox and a new page will be created automatically for you. And the form will be in, and you have some basic styling options right here. This is an option available to you. I'll uncheck that. Any customizations for developers for styling, you can click right here. And right here, you can integrate this with your email autoresponder tool if you use one of those. So I have this form shortcode in my clipboard. I want to go ahead and create a brand new page and place that in so that we could test this form. I'll hover here where it says new. I'll click on page and I'll give the page a title. Next, I'll click right here where it says start writing, and I will click backslash, which is going to show me the various blocks of what I can add. I'll enter in short code, S8, there it is, and just put in 2 letters, and then I can click on enter, and now I can paste in that short code. I can click on publish again, and now it is published. And then I can view the page right here, and I can see my order form. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. And I'm going to choose the 3-hour consultation. Now you're probably wondering, why doesn't it give me that option that I chose to choose the payment method? And that's because there's only one payment method that we have enabled. We didn't enable Stripe and PayPal, so there's no reason to show the option when we only have the one available. So now I'm going to click on place order, and what it's going to do is it's going to take the information and then it's going to send me right over to Stripe checkout so that I can complete this purchase by entering my card information, the name on the card, and all the information that Stripe requires. I've gone ahead and filled it out, and I'm going to click on the blue button here to pay. And it ended up sending me back to my website, and it showed me the confirmation info that I put in there. But remember, you could have instead sent them to a booking form or a thank you page that had a button to take them to a booking form. And it was really that simple. So now let's click back over to our website right here. And let's go and see the entry inside of Fluent Forms. So I'm going to click on Fluent Forms. I'll click right here where it says all entries, but if I just wanted to see the entries on this form, I could go right here and click on entries. So let me click right here where it says all entries. I'll choose my payment form. And here it is right here. This one right here, this was a test one. So what ends up happening is if someone fills out the form, goes to Stripe, and then doesn't complete the purchase information, you will have their information stored right here, which is nice. So if I want to see additional order details, I can click right here where it says Actions and has the eye, and here is all those order details. And as I scroll down, it also has the data that was entered in on the actual checkout. So it has the last 4 of the credit card used. It has the payment total, the payment status, the exact date and time that it was paid, and also a link here that will take you back to Stripe to see the transaction on their website. You can add notes here as well if you want. And that's how easy it is to add a payment form to your website. And that's how it's done. Super easy way to have an online payment form on your website. And you can have as many as you want. Now remember, the link is in the description down below. Now when the time comes where you might want a full-blown e-commerce platform, I recommend checking out CartFlows, and I'll put a link to a tutorial video on CartFlows down below. Now I want to ask you to give this video a thumbs up. It's going to help this video be seen by more people. If you have any questions about anything you saw in this video, feel free to ask in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and click on the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.